Good morning, good afternoon, everyone. This is Bassem Muhammad. I'm going to take you through native change detection using workflows today. So this is going to be our agenda. So I'm going to start with an introduction about myself and then the definition of the native change detection and what is its risks. And then how can we do the native change detection, as well as how this could enhance your identity threat and threat detection and response. What is the solutions that we are proposing, and a demo for a solution, some tips and tricks, and the questions might be on the blog that I'm going to share in the developer community. So who am I? I'm like an Egyptian living in Germany since 6 years. I'm a family man. I have like a 7 years old boy. I'm supporting a big fan of football, soccer ball. Okay, and I'm a big fan of Liverpool. I'm very passionate about cybersecurity, so I started my career long back as a service consultant. Like I spent 5 years doing service consultation for IAM, and then 3.5 years as a solution architect in one of the biggest banks in Germany. And finally, I have been with SailPoint for 3 years as a customer success engineer. So in order to know more about our team and what customer success engineering are doing, so I would encourage you to go to learn more about CSE. So if you go to the Compass, so let me grab this one. Just log into the Compass, and even if you don't have an account, you can go here to community, and then from community go to the customer success engineering, and you will know more about what we are offering and who we are. We have here like FAQs about like what are the questions that mostly customers are asking, and some answers about it. Yeah, so let's start our presentation. So what is the native changes? So native changes are like any changes that are made directly through the application, okay? Maybe by administrator or privileged users. So they can change account attributes. So create accounts, delete accounts, or change any of the potential sensitive accounts attributes. Like if you have an account type and you have a normal account and someone have changed this account from normal account to a privileged account. So this probably will cause some problems in your environment and could pose some risk. And last but not least, adding some entitlements and removing entitlements out of the scope of the ICE Identity Security Cloud processes that you have defined. So what kind of risks that we could face? So first, we will lose some visibility. So whatever we are having now, we are trying to control in our identity security cloud is not equivalent to what is in the native system. So we are losing, like we have a compliance issue. We are losing like maybe some privilege access has been elevated. We don't know. So we are losing visibility. This also could lead to inappropriate or request and approval process. So someone got an access or an access removed from his account and no one has approved it. So this will also could lead to some compliance issue and audit findings at the end, because this could temper the audit trail, or this also could cause like unauthorized modification to the account, so you cannot prove it. Also elevated access, so this could be like an indication something wrong within your environment, and it's a risk if an account just got an admin privilege and he is not sufficient to have this admin privilege, so that's also another risk. Last but not least, if you have a service account and an entitlement has removed from this service account, this could cause some like daily operation and some operational disruptions to your current daily business and performance. So it could cause like business continuity issues. It could cause like performance and operations issues. So all these risks that we would like to fix and to avoid in the future and in our solution. So what is the native change detection? Native change detection is, it's like a mechanism. It's a mechanism in Identity Security Cloud to enhance and to keep monitoring the current changes that made to your account outside of ISC umbrella. So we need to early detect and identify any threat for some of the mentioned security posture. We need also to make sure that any changes that happened out of band are detected, and we have some notification and alerts about it. So using the native change, we can monitor the changes in the account attributes and entitlement that could be added and could be removed, and also the non-entitlement attributes. So how this could enhance the organizational identity, threat detection, and response strategy. So for who doesn't know what is identity, threat detection, and response? So it's like one of the cybersecurity discipline that includes the best practice standards and the framework in securing your identities, accounts, and identities access as well. So it could be like a part of the zero trust cybersecurity model, and it adds an extra level of an identity and access management security. So how this could help us? So while integrating the native change detection with identity threat detection and response, this could enhance the security strategies that you have by, first, it could give you the ability to detect and to respond to any security incident promptly and effectively. It will also give you the visibility and enable you to take some proactively actions for any unauthorized change that happen for your accounts and entitlements. So how this could happen? So by configuring and integrating your native change detection to your ITDR, it will enable you to automate the alerts and the notifications that sends to the security admins. It will also give you some rollback mechanism. So if an access was added and this access was unauthorized, so you can roll back this access. And if an access got removed and this access is actually needed for this account, so you can re-add this access. And it's also doing some continuous monitoring to analyze if there is any native change that happen into your organization. You need to be aware, and the security team need to be aware of this. So how to configure the native change detection? So any administrator can go to log into the Identity Security Cloud as an administrator, and then they can go to the sources, and in the sources that they would like to enable the native change detection, they can edit the source configuration and go to the native change detection and enable it. So something like this. Let me demo it quickly to you. So connection sources. And then pick up the source that you would like to enable the native change detection for. And then edit the configuration and go here to the bottom, and you'll find if you would like to enable the native change detection or disable it, and for which operations that you would like to monitor the native change. So you can monitor it for account creation, account update, and account deletion. And if you would like to monitor for the entitlements attributes and non-entitlement attributes as well. And you need to pick it up and then save. And once you saved, it's already, whenever any kind of native change detection is being detected, this will trigger an event, okay? So what is the native change data that we are expecting that the system or ISC would send us and will provide it to us so we can process? So I'm concerned here in this presentation with the native change account updates. So if we go to the developer community, and then, so let me take it from here, Identity Security Cloud. So yeah, extendability, and then go to event trigger. Then if we walk down here to available event triggers, let's check for native change updates, native change account update, and this will give you like when an account got updated, the account aggregation will detect that some updates happen to the account, and this will trigger an event. So this event will have an account data and source data and identity data, as well as it will have any entitlement data that has been removed or that was added, and also will have the non-entitlement attributes. So I'm expecting, or you should expect something like this example. So I have here identity data, the identity manager, the manager name, and the manager ID, and the manager email, and then the identity name, alias, ID, and the identity email. And then if the account was removed, you will find the account data in this object. And if the entitlement has been added, this is the object that you will find the data for the newly added entitlement. And you're going to find also source information, like who's going to be the source owner if you would like to send him a notification or an alert, and what is his email address, what is the source name, and what is the source metadata. And here also you'll find what kind of change types that you have, like if entitlement was added, entitlement was removed, or attribute has been changed. And some more additional values that you might utilize for your use case. Cool. So what are we trying to fix here? So usually for correlated accounts, how can we process this event? We are going to process this event by sending a notification, or you can create a workflow or use out-of-the-box workflow to send the notification to the users or the identity admin, the identity manager. You can also send some emails to the security team, like please take care, something has happened to this account out of like our processes, our defined processes. We can auto revoke if an entitlement was added, or we can re-add it again automatically if something was removed. For the correlated accounts, since we have the account mapped to an identity, so we can create a micro-certification and assign this micro-certification with all the out-of-band added entitlements to the identity manager, and then we let the identity manager decide if he would like to maintain these entitlements for this identity, or he would like to revoke all of them or some of them. Yeah, and last but not least, we can re-add the removed entitlements again, just in case if these entitlements are marked as requestable in Identity Security Cloud. But we are going to face a challenge with uncorrelated accounts. So for uncorrelated accounts, because the account is not mapped to an identity, so what we can do only is send notification as a correlated account, and also auto revoke an entitlement and re-add entitlement. But what if I need someone to review if this added entitlement is really needed or not? How can I do it? So we cannot create a micro-certification for uncorrelated account. And how can we proceed with this? So no one can review an uncorrelated account? No. And this is how it comes our solution. So the solution is going to be the following. So first, we have a dynamic form. I just called it like native change detection form. And I have created two workflows, one for the added entitlements and one will be detected and triggered by the removed entitlement. What can we offer, or this workflows or this full solution can offer? So we can offer a form that we can pass to this form all the uncorrelated account data and assign this form to the source owner, and let the source owner decide if this uncorrelated account would like or supposed to have this out-of-band added entitlement or not, so he can maintain it or revoke it. We can also re-add it any removed entitlement. So just imagine that you have an uncorrelated account, and this uncorrelated account has an entitlement that it's a service account, so he should have some privilege entitlement in order to let the service go. And someone out of nowhere removed this entitlement. This will cause a business continuity issue. So the source owner also can re-add, we can detect this and we can re-add this entitlement to the uncorrelated account as well as the correlated account. We can create micro certifications to the identities who has correlated accounts, and we can send a notification at the end of the workflow with all the actions that has been taken during this workflow for every account. So first, let me take you through the solution before going to the demo. So here I'm having a form. So this is like the native change detection form. I built it up as a dynamic form, so it's gonna be something like this. It's not complicated, but it's like it has a logic behind. So I need to, so if the source name is not there, source name should not be empty, and account name should not be empty, and the entitlement name should not be empty. I'm just setting a default values which I'm getting from the workflow. So from the workflow, I'm gonna get the source name, I'm gonna get the source owner, the account name, and the account identifier, and some details about entitlement, like entitlement name, value, and owner if exist. I'm just disabling any changes that happen to this one, so it's just gonna be read only. No one can change any of these. And I have two action buttons based on from which workflow this form has been triggered. And I'm doing some checks in order to show and hide some values. So this is what we can expect. So we are going to have an event type. Yeah, this is two based on from which workflow this form will be triggered. One of them will be showing a value, and we have the account name and all the mentioned stuff. I'm going to show it in a second, okay? And from workflows, I have two workflows. The first workflow, which will be triggered when there is an entitlement added. So when there is an entitlement added, I'm going to check here. I'm going to check for the account correlated if it's true. So I'm going to go to this path here. I'm going to define like a time frame or a deadline for the certification. It's like I make it 2 days, and using an HTTP request, I will invoke an API to create the certification. And I will wait for a minute and activate the certification and send an email with all the certification component. But if this account was uncorrelated account, so I'm going to loop per each entitlement. And I'm going to send the data to the form, like, okay, this is the form. I'm going to assign it to the source owner. And this is, yeah, this is the source name, source owner. And this is account name. I'm going to pass the value from the event trigger data that triggers this workflow. And here I will wait for the action that will be taken, like even maintain or revoke. So if the action is equals maintain, I'm going to go to this path and like get the time now and send an email with this action has been taken on that time frame. But if it's like revoke, I'm gonna here using the manage access node to revoke this entitlement, and also I'm gonna send an email. That's in the case of an entitlement was added. In the case of entitlement got removed, I have almost the same logic, but here I don't have like another branch here, or I'm gonna split it. I'm gonna just get all the entitlements that was removed. I will add it to the form. I will not check if this removed entitlement was for a correlated or uncorrelated account. No, both of them are gonna treat the same. And I'm gonna check for what action that the customer or the responsible person will take. Even if it's acknowledge the entitlement removal, I will go this way and determine the current time and add it to the email address that I'm gonna send. If it's removal, so I'm gonna remove, if it's re-add, so I'm gonna re-add this entitlement again. This is, and check the time for this action and send an email like with all the actions. Yeah, here, and this is given a fact that the entitlement is requestable, so I can re-add it again. Okay, cool. So this is the workflow design that I have mentioned now, so I will not repeat it because I need to do a demo and time is running. If you need to know more about this workflow and download all the workflows as well as dynamic form, you can go to the developer community, okay, and from the developer community you're gonna find this blog here, and in the blog it's like it's have like a step-by-step guide what you should have to do in order to onboard and configure this solution. Everything will be in the deployment instruction here, and down all to the bottom here you can download the JSON form as well as the two workflows. You can just directly upload them. Cool. So let's go to the demo. Let's go back here. Yes. So I'm gonna enable the two workflows now. And I will go to my Active Directory. So first let's check our test users. I'm gonna test with Amanda Ross. So Amanda Ross, she has group 1. I'm gonna add here another group called group 2, out of band. And also I have uncorrelated account. He's called, let's pick one. It's Bob Brown. This is Bob Brown, and he just has the dev management. I'm gonna add also for him group 1. Okay, so this is my Active Directory environment. So this is group 2. Come on. I'm gonna add, I've added Amanda Ross and Bob. Let's choose Bob Brown. Apply. Okay. Let me add something else to Amanda as well. Okay. And then let's run the aggregation, because all this added entitlements were done like out of band. So once the aggregation is completed, I'm gonna receive some emails here about the detection of a native change. So this is the first one. So it's like, hi, Mr. Source Owner, we have, the workflow has, this has found like uncorrelated account which has an out-of-band entitlement that was added to him. So let's try to open this form. So here it says like the event type is out of band added entitlement. This is account name, and this is account identifier. The source name, this is the source owner, and this is group 2, which I've added in like while testing. And then it asks me for what is action, if you need to maintain it or revoke it. So let's say I'm gonna revoke it, business justification, demo. Okay, and I'm gonna submit this one. Okay, once this is submitted, I should receive another email here. Yeah, it came here. So this is an email that this person has been removing this user or this account from group 2. Okay, and also for this is a confirmation that the action that was taken from the form was revoke, and this is a business justification, and this is the date and time. And another email went to maybe the administrator or Amanda's manager, says like, okay, Amanda has got 2 out of band, or natively she has got 2 entitlements, okay, entitlement 2 and help desk, and there is a certification now open for them, and this is the entitlement owner for group 2, okay. So a certification campaign called Native Change Detection for Amanda was created and assigned to the identities manager. So let me go to the campaigns now. Yeah, here it is, this one. It was assigned to Jerry Bennett. It's Amanda's manager. Let me assign this one to myself. Let me go to certification. Here it is. So I have here a certification if I'm acting as Amanda's ROS manager. So I need to even maintain or revoke the 2 entitlements that was added out of band, and then sign off the certification. All this was in case of entitlement got added. So let's try to go back and try to remove entitlements. So where is the Active Directory? Here. So I know that Amanda or anyone, let's open this. Yeah, let's remove Carl. Yes, and remove Douglas. Okay, save this one. Okay, let's run a new aggregation quickly. Say this is what is expected. So a workflow has detected that there was like a removed entitlement out of band for Carl. Let me open this form. And this is like the event type. It's like out of band remove the entitlement, and this is all the account details and entitlement details. And here I need to take an action even to acknowledge the removal of the entitlement. Yes, you can say not needed. Okay. Or for Douglas, I'm gonna say no, please re-add it again. And what is this? It's group 1. Yeah, submit. So this is the first email. It came for Carl, and this is like the decision that was taken is acknowledge the entitlement removal. It's not needed, and this is the timestamp. And for Douglas, a request has been created to re-add group 1 to Douglas, and this is like a confirmation, and this is like an email that was sent saying that okay, the decision that was taken from the form was to re-add the entitlement again and re-add it again, please, and this is a timestamp. So this is how it works. If you have so trips and tricks quickly. We're here. So if you are facing a lot of or experiencing a lot of native change detection, so you can come to the workflow and start narrow down the scope of the detection. Like, okay, I don't need to detect for all the source accounts, but I need to detect only for the privilege accounts or accounts with a type equal X. Or you can say, okay, I just need to monitor only changes to if these entitlements was got added or removed. So you can just play around within this field here. Come on. Yeah, here. So you can just play around and say what should be added in the scope of the workflow or not. And also a kind of limitations. So if the entitlement that was added is a part of an access profile or a role, so this means that the certification for the correlated accounts will not be created, or it will be created and it's directly got closed. It's a kind of gap or limitation. I'm working on it and I'm gonna fix it in the next version. Also, the second limitation, if the entitlement is marked as unrequestable, okay? So this means that if you take a decision to re-add the entitlement again, it will not be added. So also I'm working on sending a notification if the entitlement request flag is false. So I'm gonna send to them in order to change it first and then go back and re-add the entitlement again. So I'm working on it, just expect a new version from the solution soon. Sorry. Yeah. So for any questions, you can just go to the blog and just leave the questions there, and I'm gonna answer it. I'm just monitoring this one and watching it. If you have any kind of other use cases, please let me know in the comments in this blog.